This MR2 makes power, but not the power it once had. Bogi and Faye check out the turbo system for any boost leaks. Then they have the turbo rebuilt at a nearby turbo shop. With the turbo refreshed, they can get this rear-wheel Toyota firing on all cylinders again.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to All Girls Garage. We know that Faye is super excited about this one, but I actually am too. We've got a 1992 Toyota MR2 in the shop, and these are pretty cool cars. Very unusual. Not a lot of them out on the road anymore. Kind of the poor man's Ferrari, I think it got dubbed.
Yeah, and this car actually has a pretty cool history. The owners had it for a while. Started off naturally aspirated. These do come naturally aspirated despite their super sporty look. He decided that was not enough though and went for an engine swap. And this actually has the Japanese spec 3S GTE in the back. And it used to drive pretty good. I mean, imagine small, tossable, lightweight little car with pretty powerful engine in there. He's been having some boost issues though recently, which is why it has landed in our hands. So we were able to confirm on the test drive that, you know, even
definitely does not have enough boost.
Feels great. Yep, down a little bit on some boost. We're hoping for more power. So what do you say if we head to the back where the engine is and figure out what's going on?
All right, sounds good.
All right, we can get mine out. Almost.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Set that down for a second so I can get this in. It's awkward. So awkward.
All right. Okay. Got it?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. We decided to turn the car around because, you know, mid-engine, we wanted you to actually be able to see what we're doing. But we are going to try to do first is see if we have any leaks in the system. When you have a low boost situation, it's either turbo's not creating enough boost or we're losing that boost somewhere before it gets to do what it's supposed to do. So,
which is way more likely and much easier of a fix. So we're hoping for that.
Here's to fingers crossed. So this machine is how we are going to test that. This is a smoke machine, and it's a little bit bigger than some smoke machines out there because it does a whole lot more. It creates more pressure, which is going to be good for testing the turbo system versus like looking for a vacuum leak or an evap leak or something. But basically, it is a little compressor inside here. It's going to compress air. We've got some oil in there, so it creates some white smoke for it, and it pressurizes it and shoots it out of this little hole so that you can see where the smoke is coming out. That tells you where the leak is. All right.
Let's get this.
So inject the smoke. The pressurized smoke is really important. You've got to pick carefully. We don't to do somewhere back here because what that's going to do is wind up pressurizing our whole PCV system. We don't want to do that. We just want to pressurize all of the turbo system.
Yep, we want to isolate one system at a time and work our way back. So where are you thinking?
Get this out of the way. Okay.
Don't want that popping out in any of our faces.
All right. Let's add some smoke, shall we?
Oh, oops. Hard as you. Oh, goodness. Oh, I hear something.
Yeah? Why do I have no pressure again?
Well, that's not supposed to happen. Probably have no pressure because it's all leaking out through circulation.
The gauge is showing me as well that we've got about, it's sitting at 30. It should be all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. That's not supposed to.
Nope. Didn't you say this was new?
So he says that ain't new.
Yeah.
All right, will you try blocking that off? Let me see if there's anything else.
Totally.
If it drops down. It's dropping. Can you keep holding?
I still see smoke.
Yeah, there's still something
else going on. Yeah, you want to grab this? It's still a little bit leaking past my hand, but
yeah. I think everything it's all coming from here. I think we've got to take care of that first.
Yep.
Because that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we're losing all of our, you can probably let go now. All right, so what we're seeing here is basically that all of our smoke is coming right out of this blow-off valve, and that's not what's supposed to happen. At this point right now, this should be closed, and so we're not, obviously the turbo could be creating all the boost in the world. If it's going straight out the blow-off valve, then it's never gonna do what it's supposed to do. So
Right. And our owner claimed that this was new,
Yeah, I
which,
don't think
like,
so.
from the get-go, I'm like, you can't get those anymore. So
Yeah.
I think you're lying. So I might have probably sold him a dud. So I don't know what we're gonna do to replace this. I think it's an opportunity for us to upgrade
Upgrade.
to something that sounds a little better. No offense, buddy.
and
but-
that isn't leaking, first and
exactly.
foremost.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. And then we can do this again.
Then we'll retest.
and then see like if there are any other leaks. But yeah, it's really hard to find a leak when that's leaking. Like
Yeah, there could be other minor leaks, but when you're testing a evap system or intake system, either way, you want to be able to take care of the biggest leak first. You're not going to see the smaller ones because you can't build up pressure there.
Exactly.
And you always want to retest after you do the repair because there could be something little that's still causing issues. Shall we?
I've got some ideas.
Yeah, all right. I knew you would. Regular cooling system services are a crucial part of your vehicle's maintenance. But you can make those flushes even more effective by adding a bottle of iron-tight ThoroFlush. So this is a super concentrated powder formula that clears out gelled coolant and will open up plugged heater cores in under 12 minutes. ThoroFlush has been trusted by professional mechanics for over 60 years. And it'll even get rid of that nasty DexCool mud in GM and Chrysler cooling systems. And don't forget to add a bottle of all-weather seal to stop and help prevent coolant leaks in the radiator, head gasket, and intake gaskets too. Welcome back, guys. For those of you who are joining us just now, I'll get you caught up real quick. We've got a 1992 Toyota MR2 mid-engine, very cool car, but he has got a boost issue, not creating enough boost. We did a quick smoke test on it and discovered the culprit.
So we got that on order, and while we're waiting for that part to come in, we decided we're going to do a little bit more diagnosis. And in the process of that, no other boost leaks. Awesome. However, we did notice that there is some shaft play on this turbo, and that can cause a whole bunch of issues down the line. We would be irresponsible technicians if we did not let the owner know. And he really loves this car, so we have a feeling that we're going to be doing a little more work to it.
We're going to refresh this whole turbo system, make sure that turbo is in good shape, get it rebuilt, obviously replace our blow-off valve or recirculation valve. So while we wait on our blow-off valve, let's
take everything
get
apart.
that turbo out of there. All right. Oh, it's a turbo. Whew, those bolts were real tight between rust and being heat cycled as many times as they were. Getting them loose was not easy, but cool little trick is to take your little ratchet. Obviously, I needed to get in there with a 1/4 inch, but the handle on the 1/4 inch is not very big. So find a socket that fits, slide it right on top, and then you can go for as much leverage as you need with just the length of your extension. And just like nice little cheater method. Come on. Oh, there we go. Whoa, easy, cowgirl. All right.
Trying. So I will say, after like all the effort that it took just to get this thing on the lift for the last 3 bolts, that we have to take it back off. Shoot. From above. Oh, you got this. You got this.
Let go.
Yep.
Come on.
Can you pull it back a little? There you go. Yep. Got it. Pull it.
Oh.
Nice. Wait, babe.
Yep. All right. Ta-da. Look at that, baby.
Oh, side of the housing.
Yeah, that's all
there.
gouged up, isn't it?
Oh, that's not good.
All right.
Cool.
Off to get rebuilt.
Now that we have the turbo out, you can actually see what we are feeling. And actually, it's some pretty cool visuals because it's a little bit dirty, so you can actually see where the fins of the impeller have scraped the side of the housing. So this is absolutely no good.
Yeah,
this is
that's
absolutely
excessive.
no good.
I don't know if you'll be able to see with my fingers in there as well, but you can kind of, in just the right spot, see if I can find it again. You can see that movement back and forth there.
Right. And imagine like with all that boost and spinning at like, 90,000 RPM or like whatever.
So it winds up spinning almost like it's on eccentric rather than on a straight shaft. So it hits that certain spot, shifts in one direction or the other, hence all of the scraping. The good news is we've got friends in high places, or at least friends who
in the industry
own turbo rebuilding shops. So we're going to bring this over to them and get it completely rehabbed and get a nice fresh one put back in the car.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
I just got whipped by your dreads.
Sorry. Look out.
Anytime you're building an overlanding rig like this with all the that comes with the rack in the back or the rooftop tent, you need to think of other components on the Jeep that matter when you're trying to get in the middle of nowhere. Your brakes are a big part of the ride. Especially after installing larger wheels and tires, you need something that can stop all of this extra weight, like PowerStop C36 Truck and Tow Kit. This kit is ideal for off-roading, towing, or even big tire upgrades. The C36 kit comes with everything you need, including pads and rotors. The drilled holes on the rotors keep the brake temperatures down, especially on long mountain descents. And the slots wipe away gas and debris for smooth braking. If you want to overland in your Jeep JK, PowerStop has the Big Brake Conversion Kit that includes extended caliper brackets, and their 20% larger rotors give you more braking leverage. This kit works great for off-roading or any Jeeps with suspension lifts. This all-girls garage tech tip is brought to you by PowerStop Brakes. Brake upgrades made easy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to All Girls Garage. We are clearly not in our shop right now. We have a very special treat for you and for us. We are out at our friend's shop, Boost Lab, and they're rebuilding our turbo for us. Kirk here is the owner, and he's built an incredible business. Super cool. And we're excited to see what you found and get our little turbo rebuilt.
Heck yes. You've already torn this down and done some initial diagnosis, it looks like.
Yes, that was fun.
Tell us what you found.
Yeah. What was it smoking gun? Did anything actually fail or?
I mean, normal wear and tear, obviously. This is due for servicing. You know, the oil has been coking up. You know, this could have been due to PCV valves and whatnot. I mean, 30 years, there's a lot of maintenance that has to happen between that time frame. You know, everything's kind of coked up on the inside, just meaning that oil's cooking inside of the turbocharger itself. I think there was an issue with the wastegate actuator, or I guess it wasn't making power.
Mm-hmm.
So we did modify, we fixed that. We cleaned this up right here because it's actually binding up to the arm, so I kind of reshaped it right here.
Oh, nice.
So now it clears, it gets full range of motion.
Is that a typical issue with these?
I would say mostly because it's an aftermarket piece, so
yeah.
You know, we don't always fit.
Yep, we know how that goes.
So this then is salvageable and able to be rebuilt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Heck yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. So are you going to rebuild this with an actual rebuild kit with every single one of these components, or are you going to replace the entire cartridge? What's your plan?
No, we're going to replace every little component.
Okay.
The shaft here, it's a ceramic turbine wheel, we're going to have to replace it because these things, they do not like boost, especially when it's 30 years old and you're trying to make power. Obviously.
Wait, that doesn't boost, even though it's in a what?
The material.
Feel the weight.
Oh, for
feel the
sure.
weight. And then this is the Inconel shaft right here, and feel this one here.
Oh.
Big difference.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
And that was actually something, so that was a surprise to me because I was just all right, 3S, this is a CT26 turbo. But it's actually not.
It's easy to mistake these. So this is actually a CT20B, which was on
Japanese
the 3rd gen 3S GTE. This one, a lot of people upgrade to these because they have a slightly larger compressor wheel.
Okay. Got it.
The standard 3S GTE from the MR2 in the US spec has I believe it's a 42 millimeter compressor wheel.
Okay.
And this has a 49 millimeter compressor wheel. So naturally it's a little more power.
Nice.
But the only downfall is that it comes with a ceramic turbine wheel. And
Gotcha.
these shatter after, I think, people mostly say around 19 PSI or so.
Huh.
They
All
just
right.
shatter. It's really brittle, so as opposed to Inconel.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough. All right. So what's the next step from here?
Next step from here, we have to clean everything down to bare metal. And once we clean up everything, we can go to assembly, balance, and all the other fun stuff.
And complete rebuild. Well,
Exactly.
shoot. Can you show us a little bit of the process? If you don't mind?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, it's looking beautiful and cleaned up. So what is the...
Now we get the balance the shaft to the compressor wheel, which is nice and fresh again.
All right. So how does this process work? How does this machine do what it does?
So think about it like a tire machine, a tire balancer.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Where you're finding the happy spot.
Yeah.
Because you get to loosen the nut here and rotate the compressor wheel to see where exactly it's happy at.
So if it's out of balance, what's your next course of action? to get it into balance. Not like tires, you can't put weights on it.
Exactly. You have to do the exact opposite. You're removing weight from this.
Makes sense.
So you shave material from the back right here. This is factory right here. That's where they removed it.
Okay.
And here as well.
Okay, well, I wish that I could hang out with you and rebuild this turbo all freaking day. But we've got cars at the shop we've got to attend to and button up a few things on the MR2. So you just give us a call when this turbo's done, and we'll come and get it from you.
Sounds good.
Get out of your hair. Thank you so much. This was so awesome to see
No problem
behind
at all.
the curtain what the magic
Oh my god,
happens.
yeah, so freaking interesting. And I cannot wait to get this turbo back from you and put on the MR2 and like actually feel what the car is gonna feel like.
Oh,
What
yeah.
actually is experiencing like full boost.
Yeah.
This fast to start with.
No joke. All right, let's let him get to work. All right, thank you.
See you guys.
The turbo is in good hands, and when it gets back to the shop, it's looking brand new. All Bogi and Faye have to do is put the turbo back on and install the new blow-off valve. And this MR2 is ready to make boost again.
We work on a lot of classic vehicles here at All Girls Garage, and sometimes it can be challenging to find an obscure part for, say, like a 1940 Chevy truck, for example. Now, with Classic Parts of America, they stock a huge inventory of original GM-quality Chevrolet restoration parts. And because they're located centrally in the Midwest, you can get your parts fast. They currently have 9 free color catalogs covering 1936 to 98 Chevy and GMC trucks, 68 to 74 Novas, and 67 to 69 Camaro models. Make sure that before you start your job, that you have everything you need from Classic Parts of America.
Welcome back, guys. We are working on our very cool MR2, a little turbo project. And can we just take a moment and look at how gorgeous this is? We got this back from Boost Lab, and seriously, they did an amazing job. Not only were they super fast in their turnaround, but it looks like a brand new turbo. It's so pretty.
I know, for a second I was like, could they like actually not fix ours and they had to get a new one out of the box? Nope, that's a 30-year-old turbo, completely refurbished.
Awesome.
No, they even like
I'm in love with it.
Right? The attention to detail there.
Yeah.
So that looks amazing. And so does this. So we were actually able to find a replacement for our factory. Not only does it look amazing, but this is totally form and function, and it sounds great. From
Sweet.
personal experience. I personally think this is like the best sounding blow-off valve on the market. So with the added boost pressure, this is actually going to help release to atmosphere even quicker than factory and give us a little bit of added protection, which is going to be nice. And we talk about how we mounted this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
Very
so
cool. Can't forget that.
No, this is, we knew we were going to have to throw this away anyway. So we sent this to buddies next door. I'm not going to take credit for this welding. I wish I could weld this good, but I can't. And we had to get the flange with this upgraded blow-off valve. We got the flange separately. However, this flange was welded onto this part that was cut off of our circulation valve, our mounting bracket there, so that we didn't damage or destroy this factory pipe, because who knows if you can actually find one of these. I don't think it's. So if you want to put it back to stock, which is totally reasonable, which is sort of nice. Let's install these. Excited.
Yeah, please, let's do.
All
So,
right.
turbo first?
Yes.
Oh, God, she heavy.
You can slide it like that.
There we
Slide it
go.
like that.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
I think we can.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
my God. Perfect.
Now-
Okay. Now I'll grab the
Put that gasket in there.
gasket here.
Oh, okay.
Here you go. All right, so you're almost done underneath the hood. We just have one vacuum cap, which we did not have the right size in our assortment kit, so we had to order one last minute. No big deal, should be here any second. And then, of course, our brace. But aside from that, we are ready to fire up this beast and hear our new blow-off valve and, check boost levels, everything like that. I'm super stoked. Now, in order to just fire up this vehicle and get it going, we're actually going to prime the turbo with oil first. And we do that by removing the EFI relay and then turn the engine over so that that oiling system can build up pressure and lubricate the turbo so that we're just not starting it up, spinning it bone dry. It's not a good way to start off this life.
Definitely not. And, along those lines, there are a couple of tips for driving a turbocharged vehicle that people tend to either forget or they never knew or they just kind of ignore. And that is two very important things. One is when you've been really out there getting after it and it's built up all of that heat, if you go and shut your car off immediately, you're actually trapping heat inside that turbo. It'll actually get hotter. Keeping it running for a little while at idle allows the oil to circulate, keeps it cooler, or cools it down, and that is going to prevent that coking that Kurt was showing us at the turbo shop, all that gunky stuff that builds up on the inside components. So let it cool down before you shut your car off. And number two, when you first start, that instant romping on it is going to actually cause some major damage to it, again, because it doesn't have the oil circulating the way it's supposed to. So, be a little bit more calm for your first little bit of driving. Let it warm up a little.
Oh, definitely. Especially for like an older vehicle like this that takes like thicker oil too. So, all right, I just heard the doors. I think that might be the delivery, and I want to get that cap so we can actually fire this thing up. So,
yes, I have a strange feeling that Faye is going to want to be the one to test drive this vehicle. She's just a little bit excited. So we're going to get that cap on. She's going to be uber excited, and we're going to see you guys next time.
So we are out on the road, taking a test drive. Ready? Best sounding blow-off valve in the world in my